Hear me? I know you're gonna dig
I
this.
know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second to one, and now they got the man trapped in third and hanging out. And second and two, handout goes to McCaffrey up the middle.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, KD, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. We have G-Dub from Austin, Texas, Murray E. Basketball from Gotta Be More Careful, and finally, they used to call him Ricky, but now they call him Coach Ricky from Charleston, South Carolina. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me? I know you're gonna dig this.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second to one,
What up, everybody? How y'all doing out there tonight? Look like I might be here by myself tonight. Mo got the flu, so hopefully he gets better. Dana is dealing with a hurricane situation in Florida. And G-Dub got some family stuff going on. So it looks like it's going to just be me for the next 2 hours, guys. Hey, ain't nothing but a thing, because that chicken wing ain't nothing but a thing. I can do this by myself for 2 hours. Ain't nothing but a thing. Anyway, so, oh man, I got this as close as pink as I possibly can for, I didn't do it last month, but I'm gonna do it this month, for breast cancer, which is a serious disease out there for females and males. Make sure you guys get yourself checked.
This call may be recorded or transcribed.
So we got somebody on the line. Make sure you guys get checked for the breast cancer. Men can get it just as well as ladies can. You got to stay proactive when it comes to things like this. We're checking even with men with prostate and things of that nature. Make sure you stay on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going on with your body until you get your body checked out. So we want to make sure that, we want you to be around as long as you possibly can be around, and stay healthy as possibly as you can stay healthy. So, breast cancer awareness, lupus awareness, just, and this is what you guys got to understand something too. When you go to your doctor, if there's no history, they're not going to look for it. So sometimes you may say to them, can you look for this, or can you look for that? And they'll look for it. It may, just because it's not in history, it could happen to you. So we just want you to be health awareness when it comes to your health and things of that nature. So hopefully you can be around for a long time. And we have somebody on the line. Let me check and see who we got on the line. We got my man Devin Gordy on the line. He's gonna talk a little soccer going on with you. Also, tomorrow is the day that we as a country decide on Senate seats, governorship, legislation. I don't care who you vote for. You have your reasons to vote for who you want to vote for, but please vote. Don't be the person that complains about a person that's in office and you didn't vote. Those type of people, I don't want to have no conversation with them whatsoever at all, because you have an opportunity to vote, make a change if you want to make a change. If somebody is in office that you don't want to be in office, then you go out and vote against them. Vote for the person that you feel that's going to do the best for you or your family or your state or your city, whatever the case may be. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just telling you to get out and vote. Don't complain if the person gets in that's not who you want to get in and you didn't vote, tomorrow is really big on a lot of things. I don't want to get into to the politics of voting and things like that because I have my own beliefs and I'm not trying to put my beliefs on nobody else. But just get out and vote, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we ask you to do is do your part, and then whoever wins, and hopefully they do a good job for us. Because they're supposed to be taking care of us, and let's do that. Okay. Also, there was something else I wanted to jump on. Something else I wanted to jump on. Besides voting, something else. It just lost my mind concept, and I do have notes, but I don't have it on my notes right now. Um, but I think I did tell you about James Holden's father passed away last week. I think it did. But if you see him, if you know him, reach out to him. Let him know that we're thinking about him. That that we're praying for him. Things of that nature. Um, death is really hard to deal with, but um, when death comes around, you have to try to think of all the great things that you did with those individuals that you lost. And again, they're still looking down at you. They just can't talk to you, but subliminally, they're probably telling you some things, asking you to do some things, or whatever the case may be. But just be strong about what you're doing, and convince yourself to be a good person. I don't have, like I said, I don't have nobody on the line with me today, but I'm gonna look back here at the notes here, and I had a note up here. The Astros will sweep the Phillies. They didn't do that, so that's going away. I think somebody said the Astros will win in 6, so that is a good ticket. So we're gonna keep that ticket around. Texas upsets Kansas State. I think that did happen, so that goes away. I mean, that sticks around. Dana has said that LSU was going to lose to Alabama 45-10, so that goes away. My crazy prediction going forward, I'm going to think about that a little bit later on. Something crazy to come up with, but I'm gonna say this. Here's the trivia question for everybody out there. It's kind of easy, and what I'm gonna do is, if you can call in. If you want to call in, 512-543-4662 with the answer, that's good. If you want to put it in the chat, that's good. I need to know who you are, though, because if you don't have your name on there, I'm not going to know who you are. Kind of easy question. I'm going to give out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an In the Zone Sports Talks t-shirt, and I'm going to give you a tomato shirt. Me and Patrick does a show on Sundays. We haven't did it lately because we both been not feeling well. But wait a minute, let me show you what the shirts look like. Well, you already know what the In the Zone Sports shirts look like, but let me show you what tomato shirt look like. This is a tomato sports shirt. What me and Patrick doing it. We both got a little. I got a little hair. Patrick got a little bit of hair. Got mustaches and things like that. So this is the show that we'll be doing on Sundays. Hopefully going forward. And again, In the Zone Sports Talk shirt, you know what that looked like as well. So the trivia question is: what major sports plays their season in 1 year? And what I mean is, it goes from January to December. What major sports plays 1 year? Okay, so just think about that. It's an easy question. If you get it, like I said, call in, or you can write it in the post. It's really simple. It's a really quick, easy question. I feel like giving some stuff away today. So we're gonna move on. Like I said, Dana's not here because of hurricanes going on down in Florida. He's with He works for Hurricane Relief. Gerald has some family things going on, and my man Mo got to be more careful from Be More. Said he's underneath the weather, so let's pray for him as well. So today we got Devin on the line. Devin, are you there, bro?
Yes, I'm here, Kevin. For having me.
Thank you. So we got Devin on the line, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you this is some crazy stuff because over the weekend you had soccer, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and I think NASCAR. So you had like six different major sports going on. And I'm gonna say this: baseball, in my opinion, got put on the back burner because of football. Okay, and you're trying to compete with NFL football. Baseball already has an issue with people watching it. Okay, but you put it on the day that football's on. College football or NFL football's on. You put it on the day that NBA's on. If you wasn't a Philly or a Astro fan, you didn't really watch the World Series. Okay, I got a friend who's a Philly fan. He said he didn't even watch the last game because he's a Dolphins fan. Because he said he knew what was going to happen at the end um, of the series when the Astros took took two in Philly. But again, I think baseball, the World Series has lost its thing a little bit because you played into November, okay, and I think that I don't agree with the way the playoffs are stuff right now. I think that if you're a wild card team, you play one game and you're done. Whoever wins that one game, you're done. They're playing the 3 games. I think that's a disadvantage to the teams that win a division because that means they're gonna. If you play 3 games, okay, and you play them all in 3 nights, so that means. But the thing about it is before the playoffs start, everybody gets a little break. Then you play the playoff games, okay. Then the divisional team is still all on a break. Then once the divisional game's over, then there's a small break, right? And to me, in baseball, I think you have to have your routine gets broken up that way. And I think in baseball, I think your routine your routine that you do every day from April to September is pretty much the same. Okay. And when you break up that routine, it's hard to get back in that routine. Like, for example, you can work out all you want to, but take 3 days off and your body's out of shape. It takes you 72 hours to get out of shape, but you work every day to get your body in shape. So the routine of these guys playing, I think it kind of hurt the teams that won the division. Do you think the best 2 teams made it to the World Series? I don't know. I do want to congratulate Dusty Baker though. That's my boy. He's one of the 6 coaches that played and won a World Series. Give the Astros the due. Congratulations to the Houston Astros for winning the World Series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia Phillies is a team to be reckoned with going forward next year. But this is the funny thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, right now, without anybody moving, any free agents going anywhere, Vegas already has the Astros and the Dodgers picked to go to the World Series again. Dodgers been picked to go to the World Series the last 3 years. They ain't been, since they won the World Series. So that says something about the odds maker. You know what I'm saying? There's always somebody that's out there that's going to maybe get there. That's not even the odds maker. But the thing about it is, again, I'm going back to saying that I just think that the wild card game should be one game only. Dodgers had the reason why I'm bringing the Dodgers because I'm a Dodger fan, but the Dodgers had the Padres by 25 games, and the Padres won the little mini series and they played the Dodgers and they beat the Dodgers, right? Because they were still in a unique form of still playing baseball when they met the Dodgers, and they gave it to the Dodgers. The Dodgers had them all year long, and the Dodgers didn't come through it then because the bats wasn't hot. But if you play that one game and get done with that one game, then skip a day and then go back and start playing the next series, I think you get a different feel for the series, in my opinion. But anyway, that's just my take on everything. Again, I want to congratulate the Houston Astros and Dusty Baker. Even though one player had a bat that was illegal, and I don't even get this because they said this is the same bat that Albert Pujols was using while he was in Major League Baseball, but he grandfathered into using the bat, but somebody else can't use the bat. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. It just don't make any sense to me. But that's just baseball for you. So let's go ahead and let's turn our attention to some soccer. We got Devin on the line. Devin, go ahead and fulfill us with some soccer guru stuff, and I'll ask some questions here and there, and we can be enlightened on soccer. But Devin, before you go on, I want to say this right here. My high school team was 12, 1 and 3 or something like that. This is the first time they won the Mid-Penn Championship and they got in the playoffs. This is the first time in school history that our soccer team made it that far. Now, Devin, you can appreciate this. On our soccer team, I think we had 2 or 3 players that actually spoke English. We had a melting pot of Napoleons, Africans, South Americans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. We had a melting pot of so many different nationalities, and they played played soccer, and they won games. They have a freshman kid that is just so exciting. He's a good kid. He got good grades. If he stays the course, I can see him definitely going to the next level playing soccer somewhere else. But they lost in the first round, 3-2. But it was an exciting game. But after watching them play 2 years ago, I have a different perspective on soccer. And I'm gonna say this: football players get hit, basketball players up and down, but soccer guys are in shape. They run forever. I bet they make the best marathon runners. I bet they make the best cross country runners because they run forever. And speed is what they need, and they do have speed. So Devin, go ahead and let's talk about what's going on with the soccer world and what happened over the weekend in the United States with soccer. If you don't mind, the floor is yours, my brother.
Okay. The first game, Major League Soccer championship game. It was between the Philadelphia versus LAFC. And this game, probably the best MLS final I ever seen. Because it was 1-0 LAFC, 1-1, 2-1 LAFC, 2-2, 3-2 Philly. And with a minute and a half left in extra time, LAFC tied at 3-3. And went to a penalty shootout in 4 rounds. LAFC won 3-0 because the backup goalkeeper he got subbed in because of injury to the starter. And he only played 1 game this whole year. He stepped up against his old team. And he, out of the 3 shots, he saved 2 of them because 1 went over the crossbar. So it was a tough day for Philly, losing the MLS Cup and the World Series on the same day.
Hey, so question for you. I was watching that, right, and I thought Philly was going to win that. I honestly did. I was like, yo, they about to. I said, this city could have this. Just think about the city Philadelphia right now. Okay, so you have the Eagles who are 8-0. You have the Philadelphia Phillies in the World Series, and you have the soccer team in the championship, and then you have a formidable basketball team that could possibly get to the NBA Finals. It 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 probably can't get no better for the Philadelphia fans in Philly than what it did over the weekend. And they end up
Yep,
losing
agree.
the World Series, and they end up losing the Major League Soccer Cup as well. But the thing about it is, you want to be one of the last two teams standing, because at the end of the day, you can talk trash. Other people can talk trash, but you know what though? They ain't where you were. You won one of the last two
Yep,
teams that
agree.
was standing, and that's where
Mm-hmm.
people, I think, sometimes don't they get it mixed up, because I think that if you're the last two teams, you at some point somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. All right, but you're the last two teams. You're still there. You still have an opportunity to win. In a soccer game, I was going back and forth. I was watching football, watching. This is, I mean, just and what I ended up doing, Devin, was I got to the sports mix channel and just sat there and watched everything, because one minute I'm looking at one thing, next minute I'm looking at something else. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So it was exciting weekend for sport if you're a sports fan of all sports. But go ahead, Devin, get back to soccer.
All right. The FIFA World Cup in Qatar is going to start on November 20th with the host nation, Qatar versus Ecuador on Fox at 11 a.m. Eastern. And it's going to be a good tournament because majority of these teams been there. So I'll go through the groups. Eight groups of four. So the first group, Group A, contains Qatar, the host, Ecuador, Senegal, Netherlands. Group B contains England, Iran, United States of America, Wales. Group C, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland. Group D, defending World Cup champions France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. Group E, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan. Group F, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. Group G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. Group H, the final group, Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, South Korea. So the field is 32. After each nation plays 3 games in a round robin, the top 2 of each group will advance to the round of 16. And that's where the bracket, the single elimination.
Hey Devin, so let me ask you a question. Out of the groups that you were talking about, what group what group has the toughest okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think the groups are balanced off that that nobody has a disadvantage in any group?
It's hard to Group E, Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. That's the toughest group, I think, because 2010 champion Spain still, 2014 Germany still, and Costa Rica, they were an underdog in this tournament. That leaves out Japan, that could be finished last. And each group is somewhat balanced because of the continental rule. You can't have a nation from the same continent have two.
Okay.
Unless you're Europe, that has 13 slots in the tournament.
Okay, so you're saying so we're looking at we're looking at the World Cup, correct? We're talking about the
Yes.
World Cup. Okay, 'cause I went to ESPN and looked at some stuff. Okay, so and they're playing in Qatar, correct?
Yes, Qatar.
Okay, so if you don't know what Qatar is
In the Middle East.
In the Middle East, Qatar is a country that was fought over in Iraq. I think Qatar is probably the most furthest, the most southern country. I mean, most southern city in Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just looking at the brackets, and I'm looking at the brackets, and I see a country missing. I don't see Russia in there. I don't see.
Yeah, Russia, they've been disqualified because of what's going on between Ukraine.
Okay. So FIFA standing up to them on that aspect. I mean, and they probably lost a lot of money with that. And I guarantee you, if you probably would talk to the players that play soccer for Russia, they're not happy. They're probably not happy about the situation. And I think you're probably going to see a lot of the Russian players that defect from Russia to go play somewhere else because the only thing they want to do is play soccer. They don't want to fight nobody. They don't want to be in a war. They don't want to be in a conflict or anything like that. So that's where they fall into not being able to play. So okay, so Devin, let's look at Group A. So Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands. Who you got coming out of that at Group A?
Netherlands and Senegal.
Why you think those two?
The Netherlands, they look really good in qualification. They have some of the players from 2010 when they got the final with Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And they play a condensed 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3 formation.
Okay.
So they like to switch.
So Group B, you got England, Iran, United States, and Wales. Who you got? What two teams you got coming out of there?
England and, of course, the United States. United States, I have the United States as group winners. And a little fun fact. United States is the youngest team in this tournament by 4 years.
And see, I was about to ask you that question too. So let's go back to Group A real quick. Who's the wild card team in Group A that you think has an opportunity to maybe sneak out of there?
Ecuador.
Okay. And what about Group B? Who will be that the sneaky link?
Wales.
Okay, so let's go to Group C. We got Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. So give me 2 teams out of there, and give me your sneaky link for Group C.
Argentina, Poland, sneaky, Mexico. Because Argentina could be losing their captain after this tournament, Leo Messi.
Yeah. What is going on? What's going on with that situation? Because I read something about that. He's leaving. Is behind some money, correct? I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's leaving some. Yeah, he's leaving some money because there's a report saying that he's coming to America to play in MLS as a player/owner.
Okay.
With Miami.
Okay. Group C, we got France,
and then
Australia, Denmark, and Tasani. Is that how you pronounce it? Tasani? Tunisia. Okay. So who you got? The two teams coming out there in the sneaky link.
France and Denmark, and Tunisia the sneaky link. Tunisia, I think they're the best team from Africa.
Okay. And what makes you think that they are the best team out of Africa?
Because like in the group stage, they dominate. They dominate on both sides of the ball. They're well balanced. Because that group of 23, 22 players,
mm-hmm.
They grew up together playing.
Oh, that means a lot, though. Really, I mean, when you come to soccer, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, just think about this.
Chemistry in any sport.
Exactly. Just think about this. If let's put it in this perspective, if your son has 10, 11 guys that he hangs around with, and they start playing football at the Pee Wee level, and they play it through the Pee Wee level, you add a couple players here or there through the midget level, then you go to get to 9th grade, and you still got that same group of guys playing together, and then you got them as seniors, and they've been playing together all those years. That's 14 years of football them guys been playing. You know what I'm saying? So for them guys to be playing together, growing up together, playing soccer, they know each other's moves. They know they can almost think what the other person's thinking. They can almost probably finish the sentence of half the players on the team. I bet every player on that team probably knows what meal each other likes. You know what I'm saying? So that means something.
Exactly.
When you come to cohesiveness on the soccer field. All right, so let's go to Group E. Got Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, and Japan. Who your 2 in your sneaky link?
Spain and Germany, my top 2. Sneaky link, Costa Rica. Don't be surprised if this.
Don't be surprised
if this Costa Rican team make a run.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can't beat this goalkeeper for the Costa Rican, Helen Naves.
He's really good.
He played for Real Madrid in Spain, and now he's at PSG in France.
Okay.
So, he's a top blocker.
So let's go with Group F. We got Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Croatia
and Belgium.
That's Group.
Speaking Canada.
So Belgium.
Because Canada, they play a more distinctive role.
And Canada.
They play 5 in the midfield. So you got to beat them long and not side to side.
So we got Group. Okay, we got Group G and Group H. So in Group G, we got Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. Who's the 2 in the sneaker link band?
I have Brazil, And then my second one I have to go with Switzerland.
Say that again.
And my sneaker league could be Brazil, Switzerland, my top two.
Brazil, okay. Switzerland.
And Serbia, my sneaker link. But don't be surprised if Serbia gets into the group and Switzerland flip flops.
Okay, that sounds really good there. So let's go with Group H. We got Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Who you two? Who's you two in your sneaker link?
Portugal and Uruguay. My sneaker link, I have to say Ghana.
Now, okay, so let me ask you a question. So we got the Olympics coming up in 2024. Does this affect the Olympics in any kind of way of who goes to the Olympics? Because all these teams don't go to Olympics, do they?
No. The Olympics participation is a different scenarios.
Okay.
Because the Olympics, you're only playing with players that are the age of 23 and under. The youth.
Say that again.
For the Olympics, when they had their tournament for the men, you only can have players under the age of 23.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the age of, okay.
And then they can allow 3 players that are over 8.
Oh, okay, so the Olympics has they have a qualifying age that they can play under, but not over. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So the age limit for the Olympics is 23.
Yes, 23 and under.
20. See, that's kind of weird because why? I mean, everybody else, I don't know. Everybody else don't have a age limit for them to play. I wonder. So, do you know why the Olympics are set up that way? That they have an age limit?
I think because these players are getting younger, like 18 to maybe 20, to play on the senior teams, and they want to play for the senior team. They have like low level for national teams.
Okay.
Because now you're like 18 to 20, you can get a big contract.
Okay. So now let me ask you a question. In Group A, what player are you looking at from what's that one player, like who you think could be, if they give out MVP for each group, group, alphabetical group, is there any player in any group that actually sticks out better than any other players in any groups that you could think of?
In Group A, he's from Senegal. His name is Sadio Mane. He's a forward. He played for Bayern Munich in Germany right now, and he used to play for Liverpool in England.
Okay. So I'm looking at this picture of it says FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. I'm looking at a picture of a camel. And they have a picture of a camel. The camel is like this is like a horse to them. The camel has a muzzle over his mouth, and it has shackles on his feet so it can't leave where they parked it at. I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, wow. When I was over in Iraq, I was stationed at I can't remember the other base I was at, but I got a chance to ride a horse. I mean, I got a chance to ride a camel. First of all, they stink. And they are really high off the ground. But it was experience to sit on top of a camel and just walk around a little bit. And the camel kept turning around looking at me like something was wrong. I'm like, And so when I got off the camel, the guy says to me, he says, the cologne you have, the oil you have on, he smells it. He said, and that's why he kept looking back at you. He said, because it distracts them from where I want them to go. I said, oh, okay. So I'm just looking at the World Cup information here on ESPN. If you want to look for what Devin's talking about, check out the ESPN link for FIFA World Cup Qatar. The games will be starting when, Devin?
November 20th, and the final will be December 18th.
And
USA will be on the second day, November 21st against Wales. Second game for the United States is on Black Friday, November 25th. And last game against Iran, Tuesday, November 29th. All games at 2 p.m. Eastern on Fox Station.
Yeah, if you go out there, and Qatar they're 8 hours ahead of us. I think it's 8 hours. So,
Right.
if you go out to ESPN, it gives you the time zone conversion. So, 1 p.m. local here be 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are big into soccer, my suggestion is to record the games and watch them later on. Don't go to watch ESPN, because if you watch ESPN, they're gonna tell you who won already. So hold off on that right there. If you're a big soccer fan, just sit back and watch it before you turn to ESPN. If you go to ESPN, you're gonna see the score underneath, then that probably ruined the flavor that you wanted to see. So this is gonna be really interesting, and I'm gonna really pay a lot of attention to this, because again, I think me personally, Serena Williams is my number one athlete, because she plays defense and offense quicker and faster than anybody in any other game, in my opinion, and she played the game pregnant. So that's why she is my number one. Number two is Jim Thorpe. He ran track. The Decathlon, Pentathlon guy, Olympics. Basically, willed the United States to win Olympics by himself and 4 other guys, or whatever the case may be. But third, to me, got to be Pele. To play this game the way they play the game, at the speed they play the game at, it's incredible. It's so incredible. You have
and
to
did
be.
You know about Pele?
Go ahead.
He's the youngest winner of the World Cup at 17 years old, 249 days.
Yeah, I heard them talking about that kid being the next Pele. I mean, and that's a great honor to watch, or to be named after a person like that. But again, you have to realize that soccer is not an easy game to play.
No, it's not.
The footwork of playing soccer. I mean, I was watching these kids play, Devin, and the way they handled that ball with their feet, where they just psyched out people, backdoor people, slid the ball through the legs, the whole nine. That's incredible. To me, it's like soccer. When you got guys that great at maneuvering with the ball, it reminds me of Harlem Globetrotters with basketball. How amazing they can do things with the basketball on the basketball court.
Yeah.
The same thing with soccer on the soccer field is how amazing they kick the ball. Sometimes they kick the ball and be like, yo, why you kick it there? And then I see somebody coming down the sideline directly at the ball, who kicks the ball and try to put the ball in the net. I'm not saying it goes in the net all the time, but I'm like, wow. He saw that play he matriculated the ball down the field. And he saw the play within his thought process to where the guy was going to be to kick the ball. And that's amazing part to me. And Devin, watching my high school team play in the playoffs, it seemed like when they were playing the other teams, they were always there. They was always where the other team wanted to be, but they were already there. And then watching this team play, then watching them play against another team, and every time we kicked the ball somewhere, they were there, but we wasn't there. And I was like, wow. And at that instant, I was like, I kind of get it now. I see it. I see the strategy in soccer. I see the strategy of how you try not to be offsides, and things of that nature. And I'm watching the game. I'm learning. I'm developing. I'm understanding the game. As I go along, I'm starting to understand how soccer is being played, and it's such, to me, soccer is almost like playing chess, because you make one move to make three moves after that one move you make. You know what I'm saying? So I really, to understand soccer is really hard. To watch soccer is better, but I'm hoping that people that watch soccer understand soccer. If you don't understand it, watch it anyway, because once you start watching it, you'll get the gist of what's going on. You can almost see a play happening before it even happens, because they already are in the mindset of making it happen. Devin, anything else for the good people out here in the sports world that listen to us right now?
I'm gonna pick my champion. France. I have France winning the tournament because they're the defending champions and they're the same group of guys.
Who do you have
because
France? Who do you have France winning against?
I haven't gone that far.
Okay.
But France, if you think of France, think of them like the Buffalo Bills of the NFL.
Okay.
That's the fairest comparison I can get to.
Okay. That's a good comparison, because Buffalo, even though they lost yesterday, they still have a potent offense. Those guys are still playing at a high level.
And a defense.
And they definitely have a great defense. They just.
But if you guys have any questions or any concerns about the tournament, you guys can hit me up on Facebook.
So Devin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you back next week. I didn't want you to tell me who your winner was, because I wanted to talk about that later on. But what I want to do is the three teams, the two teams that you have in the sneaky link that you got in there, I want to go over. Maybe next week we can do, because when did the tournament start again?
The 20th.
Oh, so we got time. So we can go over maybe A, B, C, D, and A, B, C, D.
8.
We can do A through D, and talk about why Senegal, the Netherlands, and Ecuador are teams that you feel have a chance to advance, and we can go into more deeper concept of those teams. Maybe we can do A and B. That should be about a good 10-15 minute talk. Okay, why you think that Senegal, Netherlands, and Uruguay, and then B you got England, U.S., and Wales. I can't even read my own handwriting. Why you think those three teams are potential teams that can make it to maybe the finals against France? Since you said France is going to be in the championship because they were there last year. So I definitely want to bring you back for that, and talk about that as well, man. It was good. It was this soccer thing was good. It was good. It was good. I'm glad we had an opportunity to talk about this, because again, like I said, I have a newfound relation for soccer than I had before, and that's not because of this right here, but because of what I've felt this way for almost 2.5 years now, watching my high school play, how they would almost be right there and they would end up losing 1-0, or 2-1, or things like that, and they turned that all around this year. I mean, Devin, I think they average score was like 5-0 or something like that. I think one game they scored like 12. I think they told me it was 12. They won 12 or something. 11
5-0 on average.
12 or something. So their average win total was like around 5. It was like 5-1. Because there's a couple games where then nobody scored at all. And the losses they had were like,
that's very impressive.
Yeah, the loss they had were like,
because
they had win the extra what you call it, extra, not what's
extra time.
Extra time.
Overtime.
Overtime. Okay, overtime, winning overtime, and they kind of lost those games like that. But the problem though, man, Devin, is that they got like 11, 12 seniors on the team, and they're gonna lose a lot. So next year is gonna probably be a rebuilding per se. But hopefully we get a lot of hopefully we get some other young men to come out and play soccer with those guys and learn the game of soccer. I think that we don't have a feeder program right now, but I think I see a feeder program in the future for our high school, and it's good to have, and it's good for them to be that competitive. But I saw this 3 years ago. I told a friend of mine, I said, yo, the soccer team gonna be better than the football team this year. He's like, man, go ahead. You don't need no talking about. Nobody watch soccer. Soccer ain't this stuff. I said, all right, man, I'm telling you. So when I would talk to him, I was like, yo, soccer team won. I said, the soccer team won again. I said, yo, they won 3-0. I said, soccer team won. I said, yo, they won again 4-0. I said, the soccer team won. I said, man, they undefeated right now. He's like, what? I said, yeah. He said, there's only 5 games. I said, man, I'm telling you right now, the soccer team gonna be good. I'm telling you, John, because I do the score for them. So I'm sitting there watching them, and I'm trying to do the score and put it on Facebook at the same time. So I'm multitasking. You know what I'm saying? So it's like looking at the game, trying to keep the score right, trying to get the time right. And I learned so much about the soccer thing just by being around the soccer players, man. But man, it's a joy to watch those kids play, man, and have fun and enjoy it.
And I'll add one more thing.
Go ahead.
When you're on a soccer team, it's a brotherhood.
It definitely is that. It is no doubt about it. There is definitely a brotherhood. And for those guys, Devin, and we got Lou on the line. Thanks, Lou, for calling in. For those guys not to know English, not to have 4 or 5 different language barriers, soccer brought them together, and they played together on a soccer field and didn't know what each other was saying to each other, but they understood the game of soccer. To me, that's the most impressive part of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why soccer's the #1 sport in the world.
And to see them guys lose the way they lost, and man, it was down 1-0 at half, and then they got up 2-0, then they got 2-1, then they got it was 2-1, then it was 3-1, then it was 3-2, and they just kind of ran out of time at the end. But again, I was really impressed with the way they played. The coach, the other coach, even said to me, he said, that number 16. He said, man, that guy gonna be special. I said, yeah, he's only a freshman. I said, he got soccer speed. I said, but wait till he get on the track and get track speed. I said, man, he's gonna be a different type of guy. Yeah. He really is.
Track and cross country.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to next season with the soccer team, and it could be a struggle, but anything good don't come easy. And we had a coach that came out and took steamrolled it with some assistant coaches, and good possibilities these young men can go to college, man, and play soccer at the next level and get an education. To me, that's probably the most important thing of it all, is that they advance their education to the next level, and they become doctors, lawyers, whatever they want to be, they can become, because soccer kind of got them on the mainstream. So I wish them guys the best of luck, and I wish them nothing but the best, man. Devin, I appreciate you calling in, talking soccer, man. This is really good. I hope people enjoyed it. Again, Devin, we will be back next week, and we're gonna talk about Group A and probably Group B. Why he picked who he picked, and we came up with a word sneaky link. I don't know where I got this from, but sneaky link means like you sneaking around. The young people say you sneaking around with somebody else, something like that. I think that's what they call it. But sneaky link is like you sneak in that back door, and surprise, surprise, look who's here. We got Ecuador, Mexico, Serbia, Tunisia, Costa Rica, Ghana, and Canada could be the sneaky links. Devin's saying they can sneak in there and take one of them take one of those other two team places. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. So we got Lou on the line with us. Welcome, Lou. Lou.
Yeah. I'll call back later. I gotta do something.
All right, guys. Thank you, Devin, for that information. So it's me and Lou right now. As you guys know, like I said before, Mo is under the weather. Gerald is doing family stuff. James is off, taking care of family. So Dana is dealing with the hurricane that's supposed to be coming somewhere down in the south there.
Oh my.
So we're going to talk a little football right now. So the elephant in the room right now is Josh Allen and his injury. Could have an injury to a UCL injury before. They didn't say how serious the injury was, but it could be something that may sit him down for a minute. And I don't think their bye week is not no time soon. I'm just gonna look at Buffalo's schedule going forward. Did they already have the bye? So next up they got Minnesota at home. That's the 13th. Then they play the Browns at the Lions, at the Patriots, 11-24, 12-1, 12-11, 10, 17, 24. Where I don't see the bye. Where is it? Where is the bye week for this team? Googly goo. And the thing about it is I read something earlier, and Buffalo has, let's see, they play 13th, which is next week. They play the Browns the week after that, 7th, that's 13th. Then they play again. They play again on the 24th, which is that's 4 days later at Detroit. That's the that can't be right. Thanksgiving is on 25th, right? Thanksgiving 24th. Okay, so they play Thanksgiving, which is 24th. So
hang on, Kevin. I'm going to the schedule right now.
Yeah, they got 7 days off on the 24th, so that gives them that's December 1st. December 1st. That's is that a Monday night game? I think because that's they give them 7 days off. Let me look at my calendar real quick. Let's see here. So
Buffalo had their bye week.
Where's the bye week?
Week 7 was the bye week.
Oh, week 7. So that kind of hurts them right there. So their week 7 bye week is already gone.
Yeah.
So they have 2 losses, and they're standing. They're still they're in first place in the division by a game. 3-0 at home, but 3-2 on the road. They're 0-2, which is surprising. They're 0-2 in the division. That could hold big because that means they lost to Jets, lost to Miami, and I think they beat the Patriots. The Patriots are. Look at this division, man. Buffalo is 6-2, Jets 6-3, Miami 6-3, the Patriots 5-4. In all actuality, Lou, you could get 3 teams out of the division in the playoffs. To be honest with you, because the AFC South, you got Tennessee's 5-3. Colts ain't going nowhere. Jacksonville ain't doing nothing. Houston ain't doing nothing. AFC West, you got Kansas City 6-2. The Chargers, you don't know what team gonna show up for the Chargers week to week.
No.
Denver ain't doing nothing, and the Raiders are just. I feel sorry for. I just thought the Raiders were gonna do better than being 2-6. You got AFC North. You got Baltimore 5-3, Cincinnati 5-4, Cleveland 3-5, and they're thinking that Deshaun Watson comes back, they can do something with that. So Buffalo, Jets, and Dolphins, all three could make it to the playoffs. Yeah. So now divisional games.
The Jets is the prize team of the year.
Yeah. So the thing about it is Buffalo has to. They're not going to rest anybody. They're not going to be able to rest anybody at all, unless the Jets and the Dolphins just poo-poo away. But looking at the Jets schedule going forward, okay. At the Patriots, they got the Bears at home, Vikings and Buffalo on the road. Those two games are questionable. They got the Lions, Jaguars, that should be wins. They got at Seattle playing good football, and they got the Dolphins at home, Dolphins away. So we look at the Jets schedule right now. They're what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-3. Let's see, they beat the Patriots. They lost the Patriots last time, but they're going to Patriots. Let's say they lose the Patriots again. They're 6-4. Bears 6. Let's say 7-4. Vikings. I don't think they beat the Vikings. 7-4. That makes it 7-5. I think they lose the Bills. That's 7-6. Beat the Lions, the Jags, 9-6. Beat Seattle, 10-6, and lose the Dolphins, 10-7. So they end up 10-7. They could possibly make the playoffs. They could possibly be in the playoffs. So that issue with Josh Allen, with 2 losses, it's going to hold some water because they've lost divisional games. If they hadn't lost no divisional games, they probably could say it's no problem losing outside the division, but we want to win a divisional game. So that's a problem for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. We don't want him. We don't want to see nobody get injured. We don't want to see nobody get hurt. We want guys to play. But unfortunately, that this is a situation that Josh Allen is in now. So we see how far this goes with him. Also, Frank Reich got the boot today. I'm not surprised. I thought Matty Ice was going to be the savior for the Colts. They had a good running game. They had good wide receivers. Jonathan Taylor's been out for the last 2 games for ankle issues. It just has not been clicking for them. I don't know why. They had a pretty good defense too. It's the offense that's really struggling with them right now. So Frank Rice is gone. Rumors are Eric Bieniemy might be the next head coach for the Colts, but Jeff Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, has become the intern coach. Is that right, Lou? Is that what you heard?
He is going to be. He is now taking over as the interim coach.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know,
on a Sunday.
If you don't know who Jeff Saturday is, Jeff Saturday, you see him on ESPN sometimes talking football. He's an analyst now. He's been away from football for a long, long time. He was the center for Peyton Manning, and once Peyton Manning left, I think Jeff Saturday left as well and retired. So I'm just trying to figure out what Jim Misery is trying to do with this right here, because if you fire the head coach and you bring in a guy who's an analyst as a head coach, what are you saying to the rest of the staff? So if you're the rest of the staff, when the season's over, do you want to stay? Do you not think that offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator should get an opportunity to be a head coach? What is going on in the NFL? That's like he took off his Stacey Adams and put on some cleats to become the head coach of the Baltimore of the Indianapolis Colts, which is really crazy. That doesn't make any sense to me. If I'm on the coaching staff, I feel disrespected. Jeff Saturday's a center. What does he know about coaching an NFL football team? He knows how to change plays. He knows how to change plays. You know what I'm saying? That's what centers do. They give out the assignment on the O line. You block 52 because he gonna rush, or you peel off of the tight end and then you peel off the tight end and you down block the linebacker to the right side. He gave out assignments, but to become the head coach, what is Isri doing? You know what I'm saying? I think this is going to bite him in the behind later on down the line because people are like, yo, you really, is this what you really doing? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Jeff Saturday can't be a head coach, but what experience do we have? How do you get your players motivated to want to play for this guy who's never been a head coach before? Now, most of those guys are playing to keep their jobs because now their jobs are on the line. But I just don't understand the Jeff Saturday situation. I really don't. I really, really don't understand that, man. We got another call on the line, and just so happens they call him from Houston, Texas. From Houston, Texas. And I wonder why they calling us because the Texans ain't doing real good. The Rockets ain't doing real good. But them Astros, baby. Miss Jackson, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
How about them Astros?
How about Dusty Baker? Go Dusty! I don't like the Astros, but I love Dusty. That's my boy. That's my favorite baseball. He's my favorite baseball player. So you guys had a parade today, right?
Oh man, we had an awesome parade. Hey, no foolishness, nothing. The city came together on one accord. Everybody was united, regardless of race, political affiliations, anything. It was nice. We did have one incident I must admit that I love, and God forgive me if I'm wrong, but this happened at the parade. This is the only bad thing that happened. And you want to hear it? Guess what?
What?
Somebody threw a bottle of beer at Ted Cruz.
Oh man! Oh,
they threw a bottle of that was the only thing that happened.
So
people, wasn't on light poles tearing down, the light poles, things of that nature. This was the only mishap. But it was a good mishap, right?
Yeah, Ted Cruz ain't the best.
I mean, what are you doing in Astros parade? Why wasn't you in Cancun somewhere?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
They didn't throw anything at Sheila Jackson Lee.
So let me So let me ask you a couple questions. So Astros wanted Dusty Baker, the man with the toothpick. I remember Dusty being with the Dodgers with them wristbands. The wristbands would get to me sometimes. And I see him with the wristbands, I start laughing. I see a toothpick in his mouth. He's so cool. He's so calm.
Yeah.
He's so collective. I'm so happy for him. Being a Dodger fan and Dusty Baker, and the thing about it is that we know Dusty's up in age, so we know he's not going to be around for a while. I mean, he's not going to be here forever coaching. And he even said, I read the article where he said, I'm glad I waited this long because if I had won it earlier, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And so I love that about Dusty. And you guys got a couple free agents on your roster. And Verlander, he would definitely look good in some Dodger blue. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We need him with DeGrom got to come. We just need one more player, one more pitcher, just in case somebody get hurt, to fill that spot. We got plenty of money. We don't mind spending the money for.
So now y'all want to come get our players?
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
Y'all gave us your done. I mean,
and to be honest with you,
mm-hmm.
I'll take Dusty Baker over Dave Roberts any day. Any day. I felt like Dave Roberts should have got fired this year. Well, first of all, I don't like the playoff, how they got the scenario playing, because I think that when you win the division, you have too much time off. And in baseball, out of any sport, I think that the pattern's already set where you play once every 3 days or every 2 days, or whatever the case may be. And your body's in that mode. So when you get out of that mode, you try to get yourself back in that mode. And it's really hard to get yourself back in that mode to play at that higher level, because your body has taken some time off. I think, to me personally, the wild card game should just be one game and be done. And let's move on to the divisional round. And if you want to make that a 5-game series, that's fine. But guys are sitting. The teams that win the division, they're sitting too long, in my opinion, because it's all about routine. And Astros are probably the odd. They're probably not perfect team to compare them to, because they won a division, they sat out. But again, I think looking at the National League, I think it really hurt the Dodgers to sit out, and they ruled the Padres all year long. And they did. And I remember a couple of years ago they did the same thing to Philly. They beat the Phillies badly and played them in the playoffs, and they lost again. And when I saw the Dodgers play the Padres, I was like, oh, don't let this happen again. But Bridget, my friend, he's a Philly fan, right? And we were talking today, and I said to him, look, I said, you didn't call me over the weekend, man. What's going on? I said, any other time I get a phone call. I said, man, I'll be taking a shower in the morning before I go to work, and you calling me. I said, but I didn't get no phone call this weekend. I didn't get no phone call this morning. Oh, I'm in football mood now. I'm in football. I said, but wait a minute, whoa, hold time out. What happened to baseball? Oh, baseball over. I said, oh, so baseball. I said, did you not tell me that if the Phillies won one game in Houston, they wasn't going back to Houston? He said, yeah. I said, didn't I tell you they was going back to Houston? I said, I told you. I said, yo, I told you it was going to happen. You just didn't want to believe me. And this is what kills me, right? I watch the Dodgers every game against the Padres. And baseball is so doggone stressful. It is the most stressful game out there, because it takes so long for them to pitch the ball. And so I said to him, did you watch game 6? He said, no. I said, what did you watch? He said, the Dolphins. I said, wait, hold up. I said, how you going to do that? You know what I'm saying? And my friend Patrick, who's a Philly fan too, that I do the show with on Tomato, we was talking back and forth. He said, man, this is so stressful. He said, I cannot do a show today. I can't do a show. I said, cool, no problem. Because I felt that before. Miss Jackson, do you get that feeling when you're watching that baseball game? Is it really, is it stressful to you? Do it make you, want to take a drink?
Very stressful. Man, I have no nails left. I'm like, what is going on? And normally I could say things like that, but for some reason, just like you said, this baseball is just stressful.
It's
very stressful.
That's why.
But it's not stressful to the point where if my team's down, I'm not gonna watch. You got to keep it going, keep that train going. Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. But I will tell you one thing that the Phillies fans done to me. Almost. They almost turned me into a Cowboys fan.
What?
Because they're so arrogant. And they were talking all kind of smack and noise and mistreating Astros fans down there in Philly. I mean, just all kind of sideways and crazy.
They said Verlander gives somebody the middle finger.
You got Mattress Mac down there throwing all kind of F-bombs. I'm like, what the heck is Philly doing up? What?
But they be the.
They say we're arrogant, right? But I want to say one thing about Houston. the fans get to cheat. We had no control over that, and we know that everybody cheats in baseball, and the Astros were the scapegoat. Okay, and then you have and they keep bringing this up. 2017. This is not the same team, not the same manager, any of that. Okay, so if you're gonna keep labeling us as cheats, and we're gonna keep winning. But then they expect us as fans not to say anything on these posts, like just sit back and take it,
Right.
Some cheaters. I'm like, man, I never seen so many grown men cry in my life. Y'all cheaters, y'all cheaters. Oh, okay. Oh, next.
But
this is 2022.
But you know what got me? What I didn't understand.
A real fan is going to support their team regardless.
Exactly.
But so what are we supposed to do as Houston fans?
But
if they cheated, what is it going to change?
But what got to me was when they was talking about the bat with the one player, and then they said that, oh, Albert Pujols uses the same bat he grandfathered in to use that bat. I'm like, what kind of malarkey is that? How can you be grandfathered in to use a certain type of bat? And he said he got the bat because he got that type of bat because Albert Pujols used that type of bat. And so I'm saying to myself, now what kind of malarkey is this going on that they saying he can't use the same bat? So if the bat is illegal and you justify and say Albert Pujols grandfathered in to use the same bat, that to me that doesn't make any sense at all. That doesn't make any sense at all. You know what I'm saying? And I told my friend, I said when they said that he had a legal bat, first thing I'm thinking, oh, okay, he was just cheating again. But then I read about it, and I was like, this doesn't even make no sense. I said, I don't have a lot of love for the commissioner anyway in baseball because he's not doing anything to make the game better. I think he's making the game worse by going deep into November. Well, not deep into November, but going to November and going into the first week of November. Because what happened to me, what I didn't like was the World Series got cheated, the airtime, because you had so many other sports playing during that time period, so you can't focus on baseball. I'm like, yo, give baseball their due. This is probably it's the oldest sport in America. Give it a respect of the World Series winners winning, and let them have their day or two or three, and then we can move on. But by you pushing the season out longer, they don't get that due that they deserve. And you can't. You're not going. Baseball's not going to win against football any day of the week. I don't care what they say. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because people don't love baseball like they used to because of all the cheating that went on in the past and the cheating they still think goes on now. But again, the commissioner, and I'm gonna say this, I think the season need to be shortened a little bit. And give baseball its due respect because it's the oldest sport around, and it just deserves it deserves that respect, in my opinion. And you're not giving it the respect that it deserves by playing games into November. I just don't agree with it. But again,
well, remember that was only because the season got pushed back a week from the lockout.
Right, but again, but if you think about it, next year is going to be the same thing. If they still have those 3 games at the beginning of the playoffs, that's going to push it out even further. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you take if you take away some of the games, go ahead.
It overlaps with other sports. I remember one year the Rockets, the Texans, and the Astros all played the same day.
Wow.
Just like this time around, it was the Texans and the Astros playing the same day.
So now, if you're a baseball fan,
I never understood why baseball was so long either.
If you're a baseball fan, when you're a football fan, now you got to decide what game to go to. You know what I'm saying? And baseball is going to lose out because of football. Because everybody loves football. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves football. Baseball fans love football. You know, I guarantee you, you got people at the baseball game watching the football game, but I'm pretty sure you probably had people at the football game watching baseball, but you probably had more watching football than watching baseball because that's what's going on. So if he's gonna do this thing, do it right, man. I'm just like, this. Let's make this thing right. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it right for everybody. It's
Yeah,
get rid of
that's
the,
hard.
to me, get rid of the interleague games for one. It doesn't draw as much interest as it did before, because if you meet in the World
No.
Series, then you already know what each other plays like. You know what I'm saying? And the Phillies played the Astros at the end of the season, right? And they had to win one of the games
Right.
against the Astros in order to get into the World Series, and that's how it happened. So it's kind of ironic that they met at the World Series, because I'm like, oh, if Phillies need these games in the Astros, they're not gonna win. But then if you look at the Astros and where they were, they clinched everything. So, and Dusty even said, we're playing to win. We're not playing to lose. We want to eliminate them out the playoffs, and they didn't do it, and they won fair and square. But how ironic is that to happen, that those two teams in the season and they end up in the World Series as well? So yeah, Miss Bridges, you got anything else for us?
I just want to say we appreciate the Dodgers for Dusty. I used to watch Dusty play as a Dodger when he was a Dodger.
That was my boy.
Everybody here in Houston was saying we had one thing, and that was winning for Dusty. Win it for Dusty. Do it for Dusty. And they love him so much. And he was talking about the city. He was just amazed that he didn't hear any negativity or fans throwing anything out on the field and talking about players. You know how we get upset with our own players sometimes, and some teams will start throwing. And it was just amazing to him that he didn't see any of that here. And I'm just saying, pay the man. If he wants to coach another year or two, whatever he wants, open up the pocketbook and give it to him, because he's well deserving of it. And he gave us our, whether you want to say our second time or first time or whatever the case may be. This one here, it was very sweet.
Yes,
there were more people downtown. I mean, millions of people downtown. It was ridiculous. People were like, "You didn't go to the parade." I'm surprised. I say, "Man, my nerves are shot. I'm not going down there and all those people." Oh no, no way, no way. And then
telling you.
You know, Houston representative, they had all of these people, you know, Slim Thug, Bumby, Wall, even Adrian Peterson was in the parade, and Andre Johnson, Sheriff Food, you know, and it was nice. It was really nice. I'm proud of my city, and I'm proud of Dusty, and
that's good.
Hopefully, too bad we can't get Dusty to coach Astros out of Rockets.
But you know what though, them Rockets gonna be them Rockets gonna be fine. Trust me, they're gonna be fine. They're building something nice down there with Houston. You just gotta give Bridget, Miss Jackson, just give it some time.
Give it a little time.
Give it a little time. Now the Houston Texans.
Well, what I'm gonna do about what I'm gonna do about my Texans? They rebuilding.
Yeah, you're gonna have to suck that up. You got to take one for the team. No, he's not. You gonna have to take one for the team. Lovey got that job by default. Somebody says, I pulled for the Astros to win because Dusty wasn't part of the cheating team. Plus, Dusty was drafted by my Braves. Yeah, he was drafted by the Braves, but he won in World Series with the Dodgers.
That's right. That's my boy.
That was my boy. I'm telling you, I love me some Dusty. Him and Mondesi were my two favorite players on that during the era. So, Bridget, it was good talking to you.
Good talking to you guys.
Thank you for the picture. With the shirt on, you look really nice in that. You know what I'm saying? So next year, but you know what's weird is I went out there, and the odds maker before anybody's moved have the Dodgers and the Astros going to the World Series again next year, and I'm tired of that right there, because I think the odds maker in Vegas need to pick somebody else other than the Dodgers, because they didn't pick the Dodgers the last 3 years and we ain't been. and it's a shame.
I have one question.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, I don't have much knowledge on it, and I didn't understand this when it happened. And why did they even take the Astros out of the National League to begin with?
Well,
it's just kind of odd seeing them in the American League.
You know, I can't remember what happened, but I think the Astros voluntarily left because they was adding teams. Like, I think that's when they added. Oh man, I think Montreal moved or something. I cannot remember why. But I tell you what, though, I'll find an answer to that question. Astros move. I'm writing it down. I'm gonna find the answer to that question for you because I remember that happening because the Astros was in the same division as the Dodgers back in the day.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. So, all right, Miss Bridget, good talking to you. Congratulations to those Astros. Get you. I got my ring right here, my LA ring. I'm showing it on air right now. This is the last ring they won. I was hoping we get another one. I would love to see Kershaw get one more, even though he already sealed the deal to go to Hall of Fame. But we'll see what goes on next year. So good talking to you. Take care of yourself. Be safe.
Good talking to you.
And just take one for the team for the Texans.
Appreciate it. I'll get back to you when the Texans and the Browns play.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. All right, take care.
Thank you. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. So we got about half an hour left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Still talk about a little football. To me, the Denver Broncos, a cousin of mine said to me when they got Russell Wilson, "Cuz that's all we needed. We got some quarterback now. We going to the Super Bowl." I was like, "Really?" Yeah, man. I'm telling you right now, we got that's all we needed. That's all we needed was a quarterback. And I'm gonna say this: you still need a quarterback. They said they put the Astros in the AL and Brewers in the NL because realignment of the divisions and geographically. Okay, gotcha on that one. I knew I couldn't remember why they did that, but I get it now. I get that now. What I think the situation, Lou, with Denver is you got a new quarterback with a new coach. And
yeah, that's always a problem.
They all had to come together and make this thing work. I think I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying if I'm the head coach, I'm going to Russell Wilson. I'm like, okay, what plays you had in Seattle that you like that you want to implement here in the offense what we run, and we gonna implement some of them plays because apparently something's not working in Denver now. I'm not saying that it's not gonna work better next year for them because they have a 1 year underneath the belt. I'm gonna say the head coach for Denver, he's gonna get a pass this year because of the continuity that he doesn't have with the offensive coordinator plays and things of that nature. Defense is playing pretty good. This is the offense that's struggling right now. They struggling. So I think that might be an issue going forward. If they fire him, I understand. Because you have Sean Payton out there looming around, and I'm pretty sure that the Denver Broncos don't have a problem giving Sean Payton a piece of the pie because Sean Payton has said earlier that the next team I go to, I want to have some type of ownership in the team. So that's why he won't be going to Dallas because Jerry Jones is not giving up no ownership to Sean Payton. It's not going to happen. Lou, next up, the Washington Commanders are going to be sold for $7 billion. So
wow.
Snyder bought him for 3 or 4, so he's gonna make a profit of 3. He's gonna make a profit of $3 or $4 billion. This is where I have a problem with the NFL. You force him out because he did bad things, but you reward him for selling the team by making money. I don't get that part of it. I don't understand that part of it. And I think that all the things that Dan Snyder supposedly have done, if he did some of those things, then he needs to give that money to charity, in my opinion. I'm going to leave it at that.
Absolutely.
Next up, guys, is Kyrie Irving. We got about half an hour left, so I really want to talk about this. There's some other stuff I want to talk about, but but Devin came in and talked about soccer. Ms. Jackson came in and talked about the Houston Astros. So I want to get into this Kyrie situation. Okay. I don't know everything because I haven't read everything about Kyrie because I'm all about sports. But I'm gonna be mindful and I'm going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to read more. So next Monday, I'm going to have more to talk about than what I have right now. But the issue I have is not with Kyrie right now. The issue I have is the theaters that played this movie and Amazon that's selling the movie and selling the book. If the information that Kyrie posted is incorrect, and the only thing correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. Before I go on, the trivia question I had, you can call in or you can write it in the inbox. What major sports plays in one calendar year? What major sport plays in one calendar year? That means from January. That means from January to December. What major sport plays in the calendar year? If you get the answer, you'll get a In the Zone Sports Talk shirt. Not this one I got on, but one, and you'll get a tomato shirt that me and Patrick Hyde do on Sundays. That's the trivia question for today. Should be easy to get that one. But my question is this right here: Why are the movie theaters? Why is Amazon not getting slack? Hockey is not it. Sorry, hockey's not it.
Wrong.
Why is the theater and Amazon not getting slack behind this book or this author or whoever created this situation? Why is Kyrie getting all the blame for this? Is it because he posted something and I think I listened to Lou. I was listening to sports radio yesterday, and they had a rabbi on there that talked about Kyrie and how he's empathetic or how he's empathetic to Kyrie because Kyrie doesn't know. And the thing about it is there's a laundry list of stuff that Kyrie has to do before he can come back and play for the Brooklyn Nets that he has to do. They want him. Somebody said, "Ha ha, baseball." Who? I don't know who you are. So tell me your name if you think. Tell me your name if you think it's baseball, because I don't know who you are. Facebook user, don't say your name. I appreciate if you say your name. But if you're a host, you can't win. If you're a co-host, you can't win either. So if you one of those people with the answers, don't worry about it. You can't win. But my thing is like, okay, and they basically said that it's 5 games, but it could be more because there's certain things they want him to do. KYRIE, you are correct. It is baseball. Inbox me your information and I'll send you your stuff. I need to know what size you wear, and things like that. Preferred color if you have a color. Okay. The answer is baseball. Baseball is the only sport that plays in a calendar year. They don't go over. They go from April to November. Every other sport goes from 1 year to another year. 20 like baseball is 20. Baseball is 2022 season. There's no 23 season until next year starts. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey all go in from 1 year to another. But getting back to what I was saying is that I'm not. They want him to sit down and they want him to be educated about the Holocaust, and I get that. I'm saying I get educate him on those things. We know Kyrie is stubborn, he's bullheaded, he's hard headed, and he wasn't going to really apologize for anything because he said only thing he did was post something about that movie or whatever it was. Okay, and he's getting all this backlash. I'm not saying he's wrong for it. I'm not saying that he's right for it. I'm not saying he's wrong for it. It's your opinion on what you think is right or wrong when it comes to this right here. But my issue is that this has been out for a while, and I heard nobody say nothing about Amazon. It's been out for a while. I haven't heard anybody say anything to the movie theaters that played the movie. And the thing about it is, Amazon is affiliated with football, okay? But nobody's saying nothing about those businesses because they're making money, okay? It's all about making money, and we understand it. But right is right and wrong is wrong, okay? The coach for the owner for the Phoenix Suns lost UPS or whoever, I can't remember who it was. They lost backing because of what he said. Okay, so football should be going to Amazon and says, look, you can't represent the NFL because of your affiliation with this with this movie, or you're selling this movie. You're making money off of something that that everybody's telling Kyrie he's incorrect about what he's saying. Okay, the theaters that Shaquille O'Neal owns or Magic Johnson owns, I don't know who owns them now, but showed the movie. Nobody's going after them for allowing that movie to be seen. So they're giving out false information, and then Kyrie posted something, and he just posted, and if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but did Kyrie like it or did he just post it? You know what I'm saying? Because if he just posted, does that mean he liked it, or is he posting it because he felt that there was something that he felt he needed to say or wanted to do, or whatever the case may be? But at the same token, though,
That's what it was.
when your counterparts are quiet on something like this, then you did something wrong. Kyrie and with Kyrie, I think Kyrie went wrong was he didn't want to apologize. And I think if he apologized and was sincere about it, then I think that he may not have gotten that suspension from the Nets. But what I'm hearing from the Nets is they're done with Kyrie. And they're looking to ship him somewhere, but nobody wants him. Kyrie lost his contract with Nike, which I thought he already did before, but I guess it's suspended to further notice. But again, he's losing money. Kyrie's sitting out 5 games, which equals $2 million. I think they said for those 5 games. That's a lot of money to lose, ladies and gentlemen. Kyrie got money, but when you subtract millions from what you already have, that can change your lifestyle. That can change your attitude when it comes to a lot of things. And again, I'm not saying Kyrie's right. I'm not saying Kyrie's wrong because I don't know everything about it because I didn't get a chance to really invest my time into finding out what was posted, what was said, and how it was projected to the people in this country. Has Jews been done wrong? Absolutely have. Afro Americans have been done wrong. Absolutely have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not judging nobody for what they've been through or going through. The Holocaust, you still have people that kids, young people that seen the Holocaust, Jewish people that seen the Holocaust, and they live in the United States, and they live with that every day. Every day they live with that in their lives, and that's probably one of the hardest things in the world to deal with, is seeing somebody try to genocide a nation of people. It's not a good thing to see or a good thing to hear or even read. Same thing with African Americans. Just think about how many generations of people that from Africa to the United States that jumped ship because they didn't know where they was going. They didn't know who they wanted to deal with. They didn't know anything. They just know they was in shackles and they didn't like it. And every chance they got, they would jump overboard and get eaten by a shark. Just think about the generations that were lost in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So you have two different nationalities or people that been through a traumatic part of the world, dramatic part of this world in the last 200 years. You know what I'm saying? So again, my thing is, be mad at Kyrie for posting. I understand that, but be mad at the movie theater that showed the movie. Be mad at Amazon for selling the same thing. This is where I have a problem with it. Is everybody jumps on Kyrie, but nobody jumped on Amazon. Nobody jumped on the movie theater that sold this movie, and they're saying that the facts in the movie are wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue I have. That's the issue I have with this whole situation. And again, like I said, next week I will be more in tune to what I have to say about the Kyrie part of it, than anything else. So we got about 15 minutes left, and talk a little basketball real quick. What I'm hearing is Anthony Davis is up for sale if the price is right. Who wants Anthony Davis, who's been in street clothes most of his career out in L.A. Kawhi Leonard is out indefinitely. They don't know how long he's been he's gonna be out. He's played 2 games all season long. So now this is my thing with Kyrie. You get all this money, Kyrie, and Kyrie Leonard. I don't know why I can't say that. I could say it all the time. Patrick got me doing it. Kawhi Leonard is making all this money. I ain't mad at you, bro. Get paid. Get that money. Get that generational money. But you're cheating the fans, man. You're cheating the fans and you're cheating the fans in Clipperland. You came out there to win a title. You haven't played in 2 years. I granted that you've been hurt and things like that. That's something you can't, we can't foresee this future. But man, listen, this not playing thing, if there's no way you can sit and tell me that the Clippers didn't see this coming this year. He played in preseason sometimes not, and now the knee is sore, or there's a problem with the knee, and now he's not playing. You don't know when he's gonna play again. Bro, I sympathize with you. I hope you get better. I want you to play. I want you to be on the basketball court. You're probably one of the best 2-way players in the league right now. Which that's part of doing your job. I get mad when I'm hearing people talking about, yeah, I should be among one of the 2-way players. Kevin, Walmart bought the Broncos. They told their fans it was okay to check out.
Yeah.
All right, cuz I got you on that one. I don't get this thing where these players in the NBA are saying, yo, I'm one of the best 2-way players in the NBA. Bro, that's your job to be a 2-way player. You play defense, you play offense. You play defense, you play offense. But the problem with the NBA right now is that they're paying the player that makes all the plays on offense and not paying the guy to play defense. But at the end of the day, if you don't play defense, you don't win. And I'm going to give you a prime example. Wiggins was the second best player on the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals last year. Hands down. Hands down, the second best player. But you give Poole a 7-year deal for $140 million, and you give Wiggins a deal for 7 years or $104 million. How does that work for me? That to me, that doesn't work at all. I defend Jason Tatum to play the worst ever playoff game in the playoff series in his life, and you reward me with less money, and you give Jordan Poole more money because he can score more or he can shoot better than me, but I'm the one that stopped the best player on the Boston Celtics team and I get less money. The NBA is going in the wrong direction, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, I'm really serious about this, because when you have a team that goes 27 for 51 for 3-point line and makes 27 3-point shots, the Boston Celtics gets the New York Knicks, shot 51 3-point shots, made 27. That's over half. What is the NBA coming to? Nobody wants to play defense, which averaging 140 points, average 130 points, 125. Ain't nobody playing no defense. You know what I'm saying? Again, Lou, I'm going to say this. The NBA need to cut the season down to 62 games, maybe 52 games. The games matter more. At 52 games, the games matter, because now everybody ain't going to just coast to All-Star break. And after All-Star break, then they want to play harder. You know what I'm saying? No, you're going to play harder first game, second game, third game, fourth. You're going to play harder all the games. Home court advantage is going to matter when you play 52 games.
Yeah.
It's going to matter at that point in time. It doesn't matter now. You played 62 games. It doesn't matter. You can be and just think about this. You look at the Boston Celtics and what they did after All-Star break, which was incredible, which I've never seen the Boston Celtics do ever before in my life, and how they went on a run the second half. Did they feel themselves? Were they feeling themselves through the playoffs? They absolutely was. The biggest issue was turning over the ball, and that's caused them lose to the Golden State Warriors. But again, Wiggins, the best defensive player on the team, the second best player in the playoffs behind Steph Curry. He gets less money than a dude that can't play defense at all. And you look at Golden State right now, and I don't think they won a game on the road yet. They're 3-7. They got some problems because the young guys ain't stepping up, and the old guys getting old. And I hope they don't trade Klay Thompson at all because that's a possibility. And you look at Klay and you look at Poole, and you're kind of looking at a younger version of Poole. I mean, younger version of Klay without the knee problem because now Klay ain't playing back to backs and he's sitting out. Again, repetitions is what makes you a better player. You know what I'm saying? So when you sit out, you don't get that. You don't get that feel for the game like you really should, and it hurts you when you're not in the game like you should. Golden State's in trouble, and they can say what they want to say, and they can take this as lightly as they want to. But I'm telling you right now, Phoenix is on a mission to prove that they belong in the finals this year. It's just weird how this NBA is turning out. I mean, when you score 60 points before halftime, 70 points. If you have 70 points before halftime, what's that telling you? Who's playing? Ain't nobody playing no damn defense. This is a bunch of mess.
There is no defense.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going up to Boston to see this. I want to see them play some defense. You know what I'm saying? Play some good defense and make some stops, and then shoot some good basketball. That's what I'm looking for. But like I said, Anthony Davis is on. They say he's out there to be traded for. KD and Kyrie. KD, if I'm KD, I'm like, look, I don't know if I want to be here for real. Secretly trade me to somebody because I want out of here because this is a mess right now. Even though you don't have all your players back, but this is not looking good for them. I don't know if Brooklyn Nets is a team that can run like 6-7 games straight in a row and to be on top again. I think the window has closed.
That's where they're going so far.
I think the window is closed. I think Cleveland Cavaliers is the team in the East right now. Them guys are playing excellent basketball. Spider is doing this thing with that team. They're exciting. They're fun to watch. Exciting to watch. They're young. They're vibrant. They're playing good basketball. Got a good basketball head coach. They are playing to have fun right now. And Cleveland is playing. They're 8-1. They play the Clippers tonight. Shouldn't even be a close game right now. Look, you got basketball going on. You got baseball going. I mean, baseball's just over with. You got all kind of stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen, in good sports. If you're a sports fan, right now is the best time of the year for you. There is no other best time right now. October, November, December. You got football, you got baseball, you got basketball, you got hockey, you got soccer, you got golf, you got NASCAR, you got all and this stuff I didn't even talk about. And also
basketball.
And also, did anybody realize that today is the first day for NCAA basketball? So you got NCAA basketball going. You got the guys, the girls. You got all kind of man. Look here.
I'm watching the Michigan game right now.
You are definitely in the fancy world when it comes to basketball. We got a young lady playing for Temple, and I wanted to watch the game, but I forgot, and I'm looking here watching getting ready to watch the Monday night football game. I missed the basketball game, so I'm going to talk to her aunt tomorrow to see how well she did. She was on ESPN2. Playing basketball, young lady from this area. She tore her ACL her senior year. She was 70 points away from 1,000. She probably would have been the highest scoring player in her school history, boys or girls. She probably could have been the highest scoring player in the state of Pennsylvania, in my opinion, if she could have stayed healthy her senior year. But she's at Temple right now. And she's working to get herself back into shape, and she's playing right now. So I'm gonna check out the score, see how well she did today. But man, everything's going on with sports, man. This is lovely. This is why I love talking about sports, man. I love it. Mike Conley, quiet as a cat. Utah, they're 8-3, but they just going along with the motions. They trying to tank for real. They just got a show phase. But I think Conley might be looking for a buyout coming real soon. Westbrook coming off the bench for the Lakers. The Lakers ain't winning, but he's playing better. He got a better shooting percentage than LeBron James do. So I kept telling people last year, why ain't Westbrook come off? Oh, he getting paid too much money to come off the bench. It don't matter how much money you being paid. If your team's going to win, if you come off the bench, then you make that sacrifice and you come off the bench. It's all about winning. It's not about what you want. It's what's best for the team. If you can't, if you cannot adjust to what we're trying to do with the team, then the team needs to get rid of you. Nobody wants Westbrook, but he's come off the bench for the Lakers and he's playing really good. They're not winning, but he's playing really good basketball. So you can't get mad at him. You just can't get mad at him. He is not the reason why the Lakers are sucking right now. The Lakers suck because they have no basketball players that know how to shoot the doggone basketball. It's simple as that.
Exactly.
It's that cut and dry. Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. LeBron's getting older. You know what I'm saying? And so the Lakers better do something. They got to do something. And I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but the Lakers might have an opportunity to do something next year because they're going to have a lot of cap room. But the thing about it is, if LeBron's there, who wants to go there and play with LeBron? That's going to be the big question mark. Who wants to play with LeBron? Because they got money. They got money. They got money. And these young dudes ain't afraid of LeBron. They ain't afraid of nobody right now. Them dudes out there playing basketball. I'm gonna go back to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. That team's young. That team is fun to watch. And Spider got them playing some good basketball. Man, oh man, that's the way you play the game of basketball. You get the ball, you pass the ball up the sidelines or in the middle. Whoever got the best shot, you take the shot, and you play defense. They are going to be a team to reckon with down the line. The only thing that's going to hurt them is that they don't have the playoff experience that Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston, Brooklyn, Miami have. But they're going to be right there. They're going to be right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that right now. LeBron said, the one referee told him, he said, man, we missing calls. So I was an adamant person, and Dana can contest this, Lou. I said that the NBA need to have 4 referees. They need to have 4 referees because if you're missing stuff like that, that means the players are too fast and you can't keep up with them. You cannot keep up with them. There's something else I want to, and I even said that I even said that I have a problem with the referees right now and the whistle calling because they're using that whistle way too much. Man, there's so much I wanted to get into and I couldn't do it today. But where's it at? I wanted to get into this situation with Spencer Dinwiddie and one of the referees, but the NBA has played 232 games as of tonight, and as of tonight
already,
yes, as of tonight, where is it at? Oh man, I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it nowhere. But they have called over 110 technical fouls. Now, doing this, if you do this, if you wave your hand at the referee, okay, you're trying to show him up. But if you walk away and wave your hands, you're walking away because you don't want to say nothing to the referee. I don't see you getting a tech. I just don't see that happening. But they have given out 100 some technical. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, here we go. They have given out 110 technical fouls this season so far. Okay. Not surprised. Draymond Green got 4. Dylan Brooks got 3. Wendell Carter has 3. Kevin Durant has 3. Luka has 2. Jason Tatum has 2. There's a bunch of people that have 2 technical fouls already. But come on, referees. Let these guys play the game the way the game's supposed to be played, man. They play with emotion. They're playing to win the game for one. They're playing with all these emotions. You know what I'm saying? And if they play hard and they feel like they ain't fouled, they're gonna say something to you. They're gonna make a motion. Just walk. My thing is walk away from the referee and wave your hand that way. Don't wave it at him because he don't think you're showing off. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is this right here. the referees, you're doing too much. Nobody's coming to watch you referee. Nobody's coming to say, yo, that referee was, man, he was on point with his calls tonight. He didn't miss no calls tonight. Nobody's doing that. And Spencer Dinwiddie, I don't know what the referee. Like I said, I got it here. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But I'm gonna talk about this next week, or I might post it on the page. But the referee said something to one of Spencer Dinwiddie's teammates, and came back, and it was something profanity. And the player went back and told his teammate. Went back and told him. Do you think he wasn't going to tell you? He's his teammate, referee. But you know what? They can't talk to a referee unless it's a judgment call that they make. And if you notice that we have never had interviews with basketball referees at all, none. They don't interview for nothing, and I think they need to be interviewed. I think they need to be put to the test and put on a post, put on a pedestal. I mean, not put on a pedestal, but put on the podium and say to them, 2 minutes left in the game, the team's down 1, and you call a blocking foul, was clearly a charge. Because they do the 2-minute thing, Lou. They do the 2-minute thing. So if you do the 2-minute thing, why can't you go in there and say, okay, I got certain calls I want to ask you about, and then you have to make a decision to answer the question or not answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Because you go back and do the 2-minute thing, and like the game that the game that Miami Heat won, they said that the was Hero, he walked on the 3-point shot, but they won the game. So are you gonna take the game away from him?
That was a big controversy.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? What did he travel or did he not travel? That was the question the whole week.
They came back and said in under 2 minutes he did travel, and they should have called him for travel. But telling me now doesn't change the factor that I lost that game. And losing that game could be a factor in me maybe making the playoffs or not making the playoffs, or maybe me having to play in game or not playing a play-in game. So I'm not saying for you to be perfect about it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that ain't nobody coming to watch no referee during a basketball game at all. They could care less about the referee. You know what I'm saying? They just need you to do your job and do your job well. In my personal opinion.
Because they're going to come to baseball, watch the umpires, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Real quick, we got about 3 minutes left to go. College football ranking. You got Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4, Tennessee 5, Oregon 6, LSU 7, USC 8, UCLA 9, Alabama 10, Ole Miss 11, Clemson 12, Utah 13, Penn State 14, North Carolina 15. Now I'm gonna say this: Clemson got hammered. You hear me? Notre Dame hammered them. They should have went further down. Alabama, they should be further down because they're not going to be in the national championship game this year. Wherever Dana is, that 45-10 took it off the board. So in the top 10, Lou, you got Georgia is going to be safe till they play in the finals, to the SEC championship game. Ohio State has to play Michigan. Illinois is 16. They play Michigan. They play at I think they play at Illinois, so that might be a good game because Illinois is playing really good football. Tennessee plays TCU plays Texas. I think they should be safe with that one. Tennessee is safe. Oregon safe. LSU is safe. USC and UCLA play each other within the next 2 weeks, and that's going to be a good game. That's going to determine who wins the Big Ten. I mean the Big 12, the Pac-10.
Yeah.
But what's it doing though is making them look good to when they move to the Big Ten. Somebody said Bama's going to lose to Ole Miss. Do you think Bama got any spark left in their season? I think they should be trying to play for Bryce. They try to get the Heisman right now. He's like third. He's behind the quarterback from North Carolina and the quarterback from Tennessee right now, and Ohio State. So he's like fourth right now in the Heisman Trophy candidate run. So that's kind of weird though. But do they have any spark left? Do Alabama have any spark left? Do they play? What do they have to play for? A bowl game, Christmas Day bowl or New Year's bowl game at number 10? They might be. If they keep winning, they can move up to being a top 10 maybe. They could possibly do that. You know what I'm saying? And see where it goes from there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's my 2 hours for tonight. I want to thank everybody that called in. Thank everybody for chiming in. Mr. Young, make sure you send me your information so I can get you your stuff. I'm gonna give you guys a hint. My next trivia question will be reference the NBA. I'm gonna give you that much. Give you NBA. No, I'm sorry, not the NBA. It's gonna be basketball because the question has to deal with high school, college, pros, and Olympics. So that should be a good question for anybody to see. So tonight we got,
I like that.
in basketball we got Phoenix and Philly playing. Boston and Memphis should be a good game. New York and Minnesota. Lakers and Utah. Cleveland and Clippers. Washington and Charlotte. Houston at Orlando. OKC at Detroit. Pacers at New Orleans. Milwaukee at Atlanta. Portland at Miami. Toronto at Chicago. Denver at San Antonio. Brooklyn at Dallas. Football, you got Baltimore Ravens at New Orleans Saints. Should be a good game. Playoff implications for both teams. Baseball is pretty much over. We're gonna be looking at the free agency going forward. Where people will land. Albert Pujols, not Albert Pujols, but Judge is the big money ticket. That guy's getting ready to get the biggest contract ever in baseball. And there's teams out there that want him bad. Angels, Dodgers, Padres, Boston. Wouldn't that be something else if he leaves New York and goes to the Boston Red Sox? Man, that would be a slap in the face to the New York Yankees. Going forward, I tell you what, that's something else. That would be something else. College basketball. I got too much to this. I don't really get in college basketball until the tournament because there's so many games going on, so many teams playing on. It's just a lot going on with that right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to say tomorrow, make a difference. Don't stay at home and pout about who won what. Make a difference, and if you feel that your candidate is a person that wants to lead, that you want them to lead you for the next 4 years in any capacity, dealing with Congress, local, state, or federal, make sure you vote. Because the last thing I want to do is talk to somebody about politics and you say, "Oh, I didn't vote." Then my conversation with you is over with, and I don't want to hear nothing else you have to say because you had your opportunity to make a difference, make a change, and you didn't. I don't have anybody up on the board right now, so what I'm going to do is when I talk to Dana, when I talk to Gerald, when I talk to Mo, I'm gonna get their biggest predictions going forward next week, and I'm gonna put them up on the board, so we'll have them for next week. Mine's actually I don't have one just yet, but my prediction, if the NBA keeps playing the way they're playing, that somebody's gonna score 150 points in a game really soon, like this week. I really think that's going to happen. That's my prediction. That's going to be my bold prediction. That somebody's going to score 150 points because 133 is a lot of points to score. And Boston shot 51 3-pointers, made 27. That gives you the green light to keep on shooting and keep on shooting and keep on shooting and keep on shooting. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Lou, what you got going on for yourself on this weekend?
Well, we got, of course, the wrap up of the World Series. I'll even check in with the New York Marathon, which happened yesterday. NFL and college will continue on. We'll look at who was the surprises so far in the first half of the season. I'll also look at the BCS poll, the second one of the season, and we'll go over the schedule of the U.S. men's soccer team as we get ready for the World Cup, which is now only 13 days away and counting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
So, if you got time, call the show, the EN Sports Show, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. East Coast time. Number is 512-543-4662.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's our show for tonight. Thank you for chiming in for us. We look forward to talking to you guys again next Monday. As always, hopefully I have all my hosts back with me, all my co-hosts. But you know what I said, big time players make big time plays in big time game, and I'm a big time player, so I did what I had to do when I had to do it, how I do it.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K-Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart. Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, G-Dub from Austin, Texas, from Murray E. Baskerville, from Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland, and Coach Ricky from Charleston, South Carolina. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for listening to the Just Us